Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
The 2026 Cape Cod League playoffs come to Lowell Park in a winner-go-home game for the Cotuit Kettleers as the Harbor Hawks look to close the series and head to the division finals. Charlie Adams alongside Max Schwartzberg for the Cape League playoffs presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply. As Max, yesterday was about as good of a game as the Harbor Hawks could ask for to open up the playoffs.
Yeah, everything went right. Hyannis dominated on the mound and in the box. Only 3 hits allowed on the day for the Harbor Hawks. Cotuit actually made more errors than they had hits. They made 4 errors to the 3 hits. The bullpen for Hyannis, stellar. 0 hits allowed for those arms. And the Harbor Hawks did it in the box. They went 6 out of 10 with guys in scoring position. Just a great game from start to finish for Mitch Carricker, who needs to bring that momentum here into Game 2 and try to sweep this series.
Jonah Barkoff got the ball yesterday and dazzled for 5 innings. Tonight, it's Raymond Olivas. How do they keep the momentum going?
It's all about staying in the strike zone, Chaz, and that's exactly what Olivas has done since day one. Let's not forget, he was originally a reliever for the Harbor Hawks, and then he got his first start on July 10th against Harwich, and ever since then, it's been a tale of 2 summers. It was great as a reliever, and it's dominant as a starter. Olivas making his last start of the summer where he's scheduled to go. You know that he's got nothing holding back.
Well, our third man on our broadcast team, Quincy Bell, caught up with manager Mitch Carricker ahead of tonight's action.
Here with Mitch Carricker pregame ahead of Game 2 between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and Cotuit Kettleers. Coach, you won Game 1 yesterday, 7-0. You can clinch the series today. What was your message to the team before a pretty pivotal Game 2?
Yeah, just proud of them. They played exactly how we want to play. We played clean. Good job offensively, good job from the mound, so we just needed another performance like that tonight.
You're replacing Tyler Lang and Clay Thompson from Game 1 with Nick Dromboski and Henry Zener. Why the change?
Just, again, like we're looking at the other side, seeing what the arsenal is, trying to get our best matchups in there, and felt like that was the way to go.
Raymond Olivas takes the mound. He's been great all season. What are his expectations tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we want him to give us another really good start, just like he's been doing. It's going to be about commanding all 4 of his pitches that he's got, and if he can do that, I think he's going to have some success.
Thank you, Coach. Guys, back to you.
Catching up with Henry Zener ahead of Game 2 of the divisional round between the Cotuit Kettleers and your Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Henry, what can you guys do from a standpoint that you guys won the previous game? What did you learn about yourselves heading into today?
That we're a dangerous team and that we got a group of guys here that want to be here and want to win, and that we're a special group, and I think we showed that yesterday.
What do you bring to the table in the lineup? Obviously, your first start in this playoffs. What do you hope to bring to the plate and in the field?
Just hoping to provide a spark, or whatever the situation calls for. Really, I mean, if it's a hit, hopefully I can get that done. And if it's, a bunt or if it's a big play in the outfield, whatever the team needs, I'm ready to do. So I think that's all it is.
You guys have an opportunity to close this series out against one of your arch rivals in Cotuit. Does that serve any extra motivation to get it done tonight and not have to worry about a potential do-or-die game tomorrow?
I think so. I mean, you want to win every single game you play, regardless of who's in the other dugout, but especially the momentum that we have from yesterday, keeping that rolling with another win is going to be huge.
Thank you for your time and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, Ethan. The new man in the batting order, Henry Zener. He's been jumping back and forth from the bench and the lineup, but when he's played, he's been a big part, especially since July.
Absolutely. Zener hitting right under 300 in the month of July. He dropped his strikeout rate in half, and he's been a resurgent second half of the season. Has played a little bit less as of late, but he's ever so dangerous. Hyannis stacking a lot of lefties in this starting lineup against the righty Rocco Calise for Cotuit.
Dromboski entered as a pinch runner and came around to score in yesterday's action. We just had another great national anthem. That's back-to-back games of
Phenomenal.
Beautiful renditions here. One at McKeon Park, one at Lowell Park. We'll step aside. First pitch coming up next between the Kettleers and the Harbor Hawks.
I think, Dean, they're allowing you to find your own success and your own true independence.
Dean is a whole group of all different kinds of people and communities.
Since I've come to Dean, I've learned a lot of time management skills.
Our community is especially tight-knit, and the majority of our students live on campus. And you are guaranteed 4 years of housing while you attend Dean.
Dean is just full of opportunities for you to embrace, to welcome, so you can change yourself to who you want to be and form your career for the future.
So go through that, all right? Think that way.
Be a bulldog. Have a bulldog mentality in everything you do in life, whether you're playing sports or in the classroom or just socializing around campus.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, gearing up for the top of the first from Lowell Park. Let's meet the Harbor Hawks batting order, led off by Matt Einish, Jax Jimenez, Charlie Bates, Andrew Lamb, Caden Miller, Henry Zener, Taylor Kirk, the only true righty in the Harbor Hawks order, Brody Briggs, and Nick Dromboski. Taking on Rocco Calise from Eckert on the mound for Cotuit, a sidearm release who might be a little bit of trouble, but he's being asked of a lot from Cotuit here tonight.
He's making his Cotuit and his Cape League debut. This is a guy playing in D2, had a 5 ERA this past spring, pitched over 26 innings in the NECBL for the Keene Swamp Bats to a very nice 3.38 ERA. Strikeouts were high, more strikeouts than innings pitched, and you got to figure with an arm angle like that, that could be something that could be run up high in the strikeout column.
Matt Einish making his way to the left-handed batter's box. Harbor Hawks got off to a strong start yesterday with a run in the second inning. Not many missed opportunities for the Harbor Hawks yesterday. Just 5 left on base with 7 runs coming across on 10 hits. Calise, first pitch, gets to the backstop. It's a 1-0 count. Tipped off the glove of Will Plattner behind the plate. Left field, Drew Rapepi. Center, Landon Beaver. And right field, Sam Christensen has a called strike from home plate umpire Brendan Murphy, the Cape League's umpire of the year. The infield left to right, J.J. Moran, Aiden Aguayo, Dawson Santana, and Ryan Taransky. 1-1 count. No score here in the top of the first to Hyannis. Ball just inside, 2-1.
Low 90s fastball for Calise. Impressive to see that get into the 90s with that sidearm release.
From the D2 ranks up to the Cape Cod Baseball League. He's behind 3-1 to the leadoff man.
Hyannis has torched Cotuit hitting this summer, coming in 7 out of 17 in 5 games against the Kettleers, including last night.
1 for 3 last night with an RBI and a walk. A 3-1 pitch. Left upstairs, a 5-pitch walk. The Harbor Hawks' first man to the plate reaches. That walk is our free pass of the game, presented by Cape Cod Community College. Go to Cape Cod Community College for free. Every program, no tuition or fees for those that qualify. capecod.edu/free for more. Brings up Jax Jimenez. Was 0 for 4 yesterday. And the umpire calls out the eye contact between the batter and pitcher. I believe it was just a warning there. No automatic ball issued. First pitch misses, 1-0.
I don't believe they use a pitch clock in Division II. Could be wrong, though.
1-0 count. Hyannis at first base. Missed inside, 2-0. Hyannis is able to run at the first base bag. In the regular season was 12 for 14 on stolen base attempts. Two-0 count for Jax Jimenez. Top of the first. Calise off the plate once again, 3-0.
Well, probably will be taking on this pitch, especially after the leadoff walk to Hyannis. Really no reason to sit dead red when Calise hasn't proven that he can throw strikes consistently.
.30 pitch, bunt shown, pulled back, and a called strike. Not much wind here from Lowell Park. Beautiful day in the low 80s. Playoff baseball here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Calise with the 3-1. Fouled away and the count runs full. Expect the crowd to fill in as this game goes on. 4 p.m. start on a work day.
Yeah, it's tough, but even since first pitch, it seems like there's been a couple more stragglers coming in late.
Everything on the line for Cotuit. Runner on the move on the full count. Jimenez fouls it off at the plate to stay alive. Count full, nobody out in the top of the first. Just getting going in Cotuit here. The Battle of Barnstable once again. Pitch count, pitch clock winding down. The runner back on the move. It's ball 4 taken. So back-to-back walks for Calise. And some early trouble brings out the pitching coach for the Kettleers. Never a good sign this early into a game.
And definitely not. I'm sure pitching coach Kevin Curtin doesn't want to be out there this early, but You got to do what you got to do. You got back-to-back walks to start the outing. Bates coming up.
Bates finished the regular season with a .241 batting average in 30 games. Picked up 8 RBIs in the regular season, added an RBI yesterday. Game 1 of the series went 1 for 4. Mound visit breaks up for Cotuit. Charlie Bates heading to the batter's box. Some players running out to the Cotuit bullpen as well. Runners on first and second, nobody away. Top first here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Pitch delivered for a strike. Police back in the zone. Hit down the first base line, foul. And Bates behind now, 0-2. "38 strikeouts to 13 walks in the regular season for Charlie Bates. Takes on 0-2. Blocked up by Plattner, count goes to 1-2. Khaleesi ready for the 1-2. The pitch swung on and missed. First strikeout victim for the first out here in the top of the first. Brings up Andrew Lamb with 2 on and 1 away.
Yeah, Khaleesi pulled the string there. A changeup that started to strike belt buckle high and then just darted out of the zone. That's a really tough pitch to recognize. And if you don't see the spin, you're always going to be chasing that one low.
Andrew Lamb doubled yesterday. Takes the first pitch, foul down the left field line, out of play. They'll always retrieve some dirt from the batter's box between pitches. No batting gloves for the USC product. He'll be entering his senior season in the fall. 0-1, Hyannis on the move. Both runners on the move. A double steal, and Hyannis well safe at third base. He had a great jump. Now 2 runners in scoring position with 1 away.
Yeah, that was a double steal that was put on by Hyannis, the leading lady. Usually it's the leading runner who always initiates it. Jimenez, with great recognition, seeing that, decided to go to and gets in safely.
Jax Jimenez also speedster on the base pass with 14 stolen bases this regular season. 1-2 count at the plate. Those are your top 2 stolen base leaders this season. Both now in scoring position, could score with anything to the outfield. Lamb on 1-2, takes outside. 2-2 count now. Of course, a fly ball could score 1 as well. Early chance for the Harbor Hawks here in the top of the first. Counts even at 2. The pitch from Khaleesi, grounded softly to first base. Hyannis retreats back to the third base bag as Taransky touches the first base bag for the second out.
Huge out for Cotuit. If they can get out of this unscathed, that's going to give them some momentum going into the rest of this game. Infield was in for Cotuit and it worked out.
Caden Miller up to the plate now with 2 outs. 2 runners in scoring position. The infield can play back for the Kettleers. Khaleesi trying to work in and out of trouble. Misses with ball 1. Over 20 pitches here in the top of the first. 22 pitches, 10 for strikes. After 2 walks started the inning. Both runners on second and third here. Count moves to 2-0.
If you're Miller here, you got to sit dead red for something good over the plate, hit a gap. He struggled against the Kettleers this summer, but time to change that narrative.
The 2-0 in there for a called strike. Miller takes a step out of the batter's box. The count 2-1. 2 away here in the top of the first, no score between the Harbor Hawks and Kettleers as Hyannis leads the series 1-0. Our 3-game set. Hit on a line, one hop. Great stop by Dawson Santana, spinning around and throwing to first base in time. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left in scoring position for the Harbor Hawks as we head to the bottom of the first here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
2 runners left in scoring position for the Harbor Hawks as they're scoreless. Heading to the bottom of the first, Raymond Olivas gets the ball for his 5th start of the summer. He went 5 innings his last time out on the 31st, game 2 of our doubleheader, with 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. He continues to impress from the starting role after starting his season out of the bullpen.
Yeah, ever since he got a starting pitching spot in the early parts of July, he has dominated. It seems like he's honestly gotten better ever since getting the nod to be in the rotation, and he's been so clean. Rarely walks guys, stays in the zone, and jumps ahead.
He'll face the Kettleers lineup, which leads off with Dawson Santana, who doubled yesterday and has jumped to the leadoff spot today. Made a nice play to end the top of the first scoreless for the Harbor Hawks, followed by Landon Beaver, who's been trouble for these Harbor Hawks recently, and then Aiden Aguayo, Sam Christensen, J.J. Moran, Ryan Taransky, Will Plattner, Drew Rapepi, and Tito Kiefer. The 9 for the Kettleers. Santana standing at 5'6", steps up to the plate. Just recently joined the Kettleers. Made his debut on the 24th of July versus Wareham as a pinch hitter. Olivas with the first pitch strike at 90 miles per hour. Right back to work. The 0-1. Breaking ball fouled to the backstop. Ahead 0-2 on the leadoff man, Santana. The 0-2. Sent out towards center field. Jimenez under it for the first out.
You want weak contact, he got weak contact. That was a fastball inside that he got a little bit sawed off and just pushed it out to center for the first out.
Nick Tromboski in left and Henry Zener in right to complete the outfield for Hyannis. The infield, Taylor Kirk, Charlie Bates, Matt Einish, and Andrew Lamb from left to right. Brody Briggs doing the catching. Back-to-back games for Brody Briggs, and he just provides so much behind the plate.
Absolutely. So good defensively.
First pitch to the lefty, Landon Beaver, swung on and missed.
And Beaver's been the thorn in Hyannis' side in the season series. He kept him quiet yesterday. I mean, the Harbor Hawks kept everybody quiet, seemingly. Did get on base twice, though, with 2 walks.
Game prior, part of the doubleheader, he was 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 doubles. He added on to that home run against Hyannis with a home run the next night against the Bourne Braves, helping punch the ticket for Cotuit to this playoff series. Counts 1-1. It was a 4-3 win over Bourne. Beaver was responsible for 2 of those RBIs. He'll foul this pitch away. Behind in the count now, 1-2. The 1-2. Breaking ball dropped in, and Beaver frozen for strike 3. That's a great sign early in this one. The backwards K for out number 2.
Olivas is not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, but a lot of his Ks are looking, and he got Beaver guessing something else. Beautiful location to the outside part of the plate.
Two outs, nobody on for Aiden Aguayo. First pitch popped up and out of play. Olivas, after his first start, struck out only 2. And he talked to Ethan Wax postgame and talked about being a pitch-to-contact pitcher. Since then, he just started ramping up in strikeouts. 5 strikeouts, 6 strikeouts, and 7 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. The 0-1, called strike 0-2. Aguayo was 0 for 4 yesterday. Facing the 0-2 count here. Olivas deals the breaking ball and the swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts finish off a 1-2-3 frame for Raymond Olivas. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're scoreless heading to the second here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
The second inning is brought to you by Cape Cod Orthopedics. Hey fans, did you know Cape Cod Orthopedics is the region's largest orthopedic specialty group? As the premier provider of orthopedic care on Cape Cod, their team is committed to helping patients return to the activities they enjoy most. From diagnosis and treatment to recovery and rehabilitation, Cape Cod Orthopedics and Sports Medicine takes pride in delivering exceptional care and an outstanding patient experience. To learn more about their services, visit capecodortho.com. Scoreless after 1. Henry Zener will lead it off for the Harbor Hawks as it's 6-7-8 due up. With 2 runners left on base in the top of the first, Calise into his second inning of work. 25-pitch first inning. First pitch to Zener. Misses below the zone for ball 1.
Well, Plattner tried to frame that, but that was almost in the dirt.
You always got to respect the effort behind the plate. Try to make it look a little better. The 1-0. Called strike. Counts even 1-1.
You know, I think there's a balance to that. Because my dad was an umpire for a bit as a side job. He's a radiologist, which looks at x-rays. He said that he would hate it when kids would try to frame egregiously bad pitches.
Count 2-1.
You know, as if like, oh, maybe he does think it could have been a strike. I don't know, maybe that was just him personally, but I feel like that's also something if you're a catcher you might want to think about.
Two 2-1, sent the opposite way to left field. Steps back, Repepi has it for the first out.
Zener got good wood, but he hit it to the wrong part of the yard. If you try to take it opposite field out as a lefty, you really got to get it. Squared it up, but can of corn for Repepi.
Taylor Kirk up to the plate, batting 7th tonight. Batted 8th yesterday and went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Came around to score once as well. Taking ball 1. It was a 10-pitch bottom of the first for Raymond Olivas. As you mentioned, Max, this is his last start on the Cape. 2-0 count.
He wouldn't come up in the rotation again, so he'll be flying back to Santa Barbara after this start. You might be wondering why so early. Well, UCSB and all the UC schools are on the quarter system.
2-0. Runs inside and catches Taylor Kirk for the hit by pitch. Second time Kirk's been hit by a pitch this season. He takes first base. 1 away.
Well, UCSB is on the quarter system, which means they start at the very, very, very end of September. But he's going to do a summer semester, academically at least, so he needs to get back.
Brody Briggs batting 8th tonight. 1 for 4 yesterday. Just his second hit of the Cape League summer. One of those 2 hits was a double. His only regular season hit back on the 31st. Light lead off first base for Taylor Kirk as the pitch misses. There's a ladder out in center field with what I'd assume is the camera for the home broadcast, and there is a child who was on it and now no longer. Counts 1-1. I believe that's a child. I hope it's not an intern. He's walking away now. Sometimes a problem at McKeon Park. You always check out the monitor in the booth and start seeing it shaking. Pickoff move to first base, gloved by Taransky. Might have caught a piece of Taylor Kirk. Slow to get up off the first base bag.
You know, it was really funny. When we played that game 1 of the doubleheader against Falmouth, in the first inning, there was literally a ladder in left center field, on the field. Like, it wasn't behind the fence. It was on the field.
Just sitting on the warning track, somebody from the Bourne Braves bullpen decided to finally go and get it between innings. Then it just sat up against the Bourne bullpen for the rest of the game. Kirk back ready on the first base bag, taking his lead as Brody Briggs up the middle. He dropped in for a single. Kirk hard around the second base bag. He'll stay at second base. Runners on first and second with 1 away, and Brody Briggs' bat is heating up at a time in the season where you'd hope to play him as much as possible.
He's got hits in back-to-back games for the first time this summer. I'm telling you, Chaz, the postseason is the time to reinvent yourself. Whatever narratives, whatever trends you saw during the regular season, it's a clean slate. Looking for some heroes. Hyannis could use Briggs. You already know he's going to do it defensively. Can he do it with the twig?
Nick Tromboski, with his first at-bat of the postseason, fouls off the first pitch he sees to the backstop. Entered as a pinch runner for Andrew Lamb after Lamb doubled, and he came around to score before taking over defensively in left field. Did not log an at-bat. The 0-1. Turned on. Well, foul. Tromboski got a whole lot of that.
Lefties love the breaking ball middle in from a righty. Tromboski dropped the barrel on it, and he absolutely squared it up, but just way, way out in front.
0-2 count here, 1 out in the top of the second, no score. Hawks threatening once again as a dribbler down the first base line rolls foul. Brody Briggs now batting .400 in the postseason. Looks a lot better than the .050 batting average in the regular season. Pickoff move to second base. And some gymnastics from Aiden Aguayo keeps it from going into the outfield.
Two could have bidded for another error there. They made more errors than they had hits yesterday. 4 errors in the field, 3 hits at the plate. That was a yanked throw from Rocco Calise on the mound that, luckily for the Kettleers, didn't end up going into center field.
The 0-2, outside 1-2. One-two pitch to Dromboski, fouled at the plate. Khaleesi with his 40th pitch. Battle continues. Khaleesi ahead in the count. Pitch. Upstairs, grounded to second base. Second for one, on to first in time. And Khaleesi works out of it again. Double play turn, 4-6-3. And the Harbor Hawks score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base as we head to the bottom half here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Welcome back to the second inning, brought to you by Cape Cod Orthopedics. Cape Cod Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is proud to be a sponsor of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. From youth sports to college athletics and everything in between, their team has been helping Cape Cod residents stay healthy and recover from injuries for years. With expertise in sports medicine, orthopedic care, and rehabilitation, Cape Cod Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is committed to keeping our community active. Learn more at capecodortho.com. Bottom of the second. After a 10-pitch 1-2-3 inning, Olivas back out for the second inning of work, facing Sam Christensen, J.J. Moran, and Ryan Taransky. Harbor Hawks have left runners on base in both innings now. Still, some promise, just haven't been able to convert any runs.
Yeah, and Cotuit could change that narrative here, especially after throwing up another donut in the top half of the frame. You got the middle of the order coming up.
Sam Christensen, one of 3 lefties in the lineup and on the roster for the Kettleers. Takes ball 1.
Cotuit's bench is just tiny. Only 2 guys available off the bench in terms of batters.
Rhode Island's Adonis Medina and Tyler Bellin. Swing and a miss, counts 1-1.
We learned yesterday that Flynn, who pinch hit for Taransky, actually broke his hand during the at-bat.
One here from Olivas. Upstairs, 2-1. Medina made his debut with the Kettleers as a pinch hitter, striking out in his one at-bat, along with Liam Flynn. As Christensen gets into one towards right center field, coming over for the catch is Henry Zener for the first out. J.J. Moran up to the plate from Stanford. 0 for 4 yesterday with 2 strikeouts. San Diego, California native. Olivas rocks and fires. First pitch grounded towards third base, foul. Moran, a Cape League All-Star. The 0-1 pitch. In for a called strike. 0-2. Scoreless here in the bottom of the second between the Harbor Hawks and Kettleers. Only game in action here tonight, with the other 3 games set to start between 6 and 7 p.m. 0-2 popped up foul out of play. Bourne and Falmouth at 6 p.m. with Bourne ahead in that series 1-0. And then on the east, 6:30 between Brewster and Harwich, and 7 p.m. between Yarmouth Dennis and Chatham. The top seeds both won game 1 in the west. The bottom seeds both won game 1 in the east. The 0-2. Breaking ball, half offer. The appeal to first base and a full swing, says Mike Hinojosa, for the second out and third strikeout for Raymond Olivas.
Truly remarkable that ever since he said that he's not really a strikeout pitcher, it just continues to pile up on these hitters.
If you're a fan of patterns, you should be looking for 8 strikeouts from Raymond Olivas as he continues to inch up his season high. And this could be the game to do it. He'll definitely have the leash, the longest of the season. First pitch grounded foul by Ryan Taransky.
He's also picked up a decision in each of the last 7 outings. A win or a loss or a save, and he's had 8 appearances on the mound. So only his first outing of the season is where he didn't get one.
Wave and a miss, 0-2.
That's pretty remarkable. To pick up a decision in 7 straight, crazy.
0-2 count for Olivas. 2 away, nobody on base here in the bottom of the second. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. Deep breath from Olivas. Brings the glove back up to his face for the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Tag applied by Brody Briggs. And another 1-2-3 inning capped off by 2 Ks. We're still scoreless heading to the third here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails of doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Top of the third inning as the top of the order comes up for the Harbor Hawks. Matt Hyannis will lead off, followed by Jax Jimenez and Charlie Bates. Hyannis and Jimenez both walked in their first at-bats against Calise. And a double steal had them on second and third where they were stranded in the top of the first inning. The Harbor Hawks have had some chances to score. No big hit just yet, but plenty of time. And Raymond Olivas has been tremendous in his first 2 innings of work. Facing the minimum through 2. 10-pitch first inning, 12-pitch second inning. It was a 25-pitch first inning for Khalees and a 16-pitch second inning. Faced 4 batters, allowed his first base hit of the game to Brody Briggs. First pitch to Matt Einish. Outside, 1-0.
That's been a pretty common miss for Khalees, an arm side run fastball that just tails too far away. Releasing the ball just a little bit too late.
The 1-0. Turned on by Matt Einish. A light jog out of the batter's box, and he'll keep on jogging around the bases. Matt Einish put the power behind that one, and the Harbor Hawks ahead 1-0.
No doubter for Einish. Hanging breaking ball, belt buckle high, and I think everybody knew the second that ball hit the bat.
That ball was smoked pull side by Matt Einish, and the Harbor Hawks have a big hit. It's an understatement. Leadoff home run here in the top of the third. Hawks ahead 1-0. Jimenez into the batter's box. Khalees looking to regroup quickly, gets the swinging strike. The second hit of the Harbor Hawks afternoon goes 400 feet. One count to Jax Jimenez. Pitch inside, 2-1. Two one. Fouled away. Count back even 2-2. One to nothing lead for Hyannis. 2-2 count at the plate. Count runs full, 3-2.
If you're the Harbor Hawks, you really just want to continue to pile on pressure against Khalees.
That Einish home run. That pitch was smashed. The full count pitch. Outside, and Jimenez works 2 walks and 2 plate appearances. He's had a great plate approach after going 0 for 4 yesterday. Third walk issued by Khalees. Now Charlie Bates up to the plate. Struck out in the first. Pickoff move. Back to the first base bag. Jimenez in standing. Einish had just 1 home run in the regular season with the Harbor Hawks. Joined the team on June 28th.
It's against Cotuit, too.
Pickoff this time, and Jimenez caught leaning for the first out. He's got the green light on the base pass. He was picked off the last 2 times in the regular season that he was in the lineup. Now picked off the first time he's on base here in the playoffs. First pitch finally delivered to the plate. Misses, it's 1-0. Nobody on base now, 1 away in the top of the third. Bates late on it. Counts 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Bates thought about it. No swing following the appeal to third base.
Okay, maybe I don't know the double. All right. I can do every triple.
2-1. Two now. Called strike, and Bates visibly frustrated with that call. The 2-2. Fouled away. Hawks lead 1-0 here in the top of the third. Hyannis led off the inning with a solo home run. Bates battling here with 1 out, nobody on base. 2-2 pitch. Misses low. Count runs full, 3-2. One of the first places to get shade here at Lowell Park is the Cotuit bullpen. They're fully in the shade while the rest of the field still in the sun. The full count pitch outside, ball 4. Fourth walk issued by Kettleers. Now Andrew Lamb, 1 out, runner on base. Second time today that Kettleers has issued back-to-back walks. First pitch fouled back to the backstop. The Harbor Hawks bat boy wins the race. That was a can of corn for us if this fence wasn't here.
Although it was coming from below us, a can of corn is falling from the heavens, but yes.
Pickoff move to first base, back safely.
You know why it's called a can of corn, do you?
No.
So back in the old days, when there used to be soup cans on the top of a shelf, the worker would kick the shelf and let it fall into their apron.
Yo, 1 in for a called strike, 0-2.
And it was an easy catch, you know, just like a soup can falling from maybe 3 feet above you. It's hence the name a can of corn. Or a can of corn. I think, no, not a soup can. It's a can of actual corn. Kind of ruined the story, but you get it.
Yeah, another pickoff to first base. Bates back safely. When do you take the time to learn about these little things?
I learned about it on TikTok like 5 years ago, maybe. You can always, for every thousands of bad things you learn on the internet, there's one enlightening thing.
The 0-2 swung on and missed. Lamb reached out to grab it, comes up empty for the second out. Second strikeout from Kettleers. Now Caden Miller up with 2 away once again. Recorded the final out of the first inning, grounding out to second base. Up with a runner on first as Bates will dive back in safely once again. Jimenez was picked off earlier in the inning for the first out following a leadoff home run from Matt Hyannis to break our scoreless tie. Runner on the move. Pitch misses for a ball, the throw down in time. Charlie Bates caught stealing here for the final out of the inning as the Harbor Hawks put up 1 run thanks to a leadoff home run from Matt Hyannis. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors and nobody left on base. We'll stick around and send it over to Sam Guarini on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. Before today's game, I caught up with Harbor Hawks bench coach Rich Cogliano, who emphasized just how important this game is for the team. He told me a win tonight would not only send the Hawks to the second round, but it would also hopefully earn the pitching staff a much-needed day of rest before the next series begins. Rich said that an off day would be crucial for the team to recover and be at full strength moving forward. He also pointed to last season when the Harbor Hawks were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. This year's group is really using that as motivation, and they're looking for redemption and are determined to prove that they can make a deeper postseason run. Thanks, and back to you guys.
Thanks, Sam. Welcome back for the bottom of the third inning, brought to you by Cape Cod Gateway Airport. Hey, Harbor Hawks fans, don't let bridge traffic throw you a curveball. Cape Cod Gateway Airport is your ticket to hassle-free travel. Located right here in Hyannis, we connect you to Boston, the islands, and beyond with daily flights and easy parking. Spend less time driving and more time at the ballpark. Learn more and plan your next getaway at flyhya.com. Cape Cod Gateway Airport, supporting our community one flight at a time. Bottom of the third as the Harbor Hawks lead 1-0 thanks to a leadoff home run from Matt Hyannis. And Raymond Olivas back on the mound for the bottom half. He has been tremendous here tonight. 22 pitches across and already up to 4 strikeouts. He'll face 7, 8, 9 due up for the Kettleers.
And there's going to be no leash on him. Luckily, we haven't even entered that conversation with how economical he's been. Still, first time through the order is always the easiest for a pitcher, you know, logically speaking. Then the batting average continue to rise each time through, and by the time you get to the third time through, it's usually in the 300s.
The Harbor Hawks made 2 outs on the base paths in the top half of the inning. Jimenez was picked off, and Charlie Bates caught stealing second base. First pitch strike to Plattner. The 0-1. Couldn't be held on to by Brody Briggs. Breaking ball that likely did drop below the zone regardless. And as we expected, the crowd has started to fill out very nicely here at Lowell Park. Specifically that top left corner of the home bleachers. 1-1 from Olivas. Sent the opposite way. That'll be down for a hit. Plattner will ease into first base with a leadoff single.
Fastball elevated at the top of the zone. If taken, still probably a strike, and Plattner turns it around. Great job by Zener to cut it off before it can get into the corner to keep it just a single base hit.
Now Drew Rapepi up, today's left fielder. First at bat, and the first man to do it with a runner on base. Plattner was 0 for 4 with 2 double plays that he grounded into yesterday. Takes strike 1. 2 double plays in back-to-back plate appearances for Will Plattner, who was batting behind Ryan Taransky. They broke up that combo. Pitch fouled at the plate. Rapepi off himself. Behind now 0-2. The Harbor Hawks in the regular season spun 18 double plays. Yesterday spun 3. 2 of them had everything to do with Matt Hyannis at first base, at the shortstop position, tagging the second base bag himself before throwing on to first in time. The 0-2. Olivas gets a ugly swing and miss from Drew Rapepi for the first out.
Yeah, Rapepi was sitting off speed, and then he got the fastball, and then when he realized it was the fastball, he tried to swing. That ball was already in the glove of Briggs. Not a good-looking swing.
Tito Kiefer up to the plate with 1 out, runner on first base. 0 for 1 yesterday thanks to 2 walks out of the 9 spot. Kept a good eye as it's 1-0. The 1-0. Grounded to third. Kirk bobbles, looks for a play at first, and he'll pocket it. Got excited about the potential of turning 2, and the Harbor Hawks come up empty.
Even if he did field it cleanly, they would have been able to get the leading runner, Plattner, but Kiefer probably wouldn't have been able to be doubled off. That's a costly mistake for Hyannis, who hasn't made a lot of mistakes in this series, and the hope is that it doesn't come back to bite them.
Quickly rule the fielding error as the lineup flips over for Dawson Santana with something brewing. The Harbor Hawks hadn't committed an error since the last time they faced Cotuit in the regular season. Ball fouled to the backstop. 0-1 advantage for Olivas. Hawks made 2 errors. But in every win since that win streak started up, where the Hawks put up 6 straight wins, they were error-free, made 2 against Cotuit, then right back to being error-free against Wareham in game 40. 0-1 fouled away. Will leave us ahead 0-2. Runners on first and second, a 1-0 lead for Hyannis. With 1 away, the 0-2 breaker blocked up by Brody Briggs. You'd have to think there's plenty more confidence on the mound to work the off speed and the breaking ball when you know your catcher has you.
It's a night and day difference. That's why some guys in MLB have their own personal catchers, some of the aces.
The 1-2 spiked in and a stop by Briggs. It got away. And we were just talking about it. But runners on second and third now.
That should be a wild pitch.
Go ahead run now on second base. It's a little wild pitch against Olivas, who would like the out at the plate on the strikeout. Ahead or even in the count 2-2. Pitch turned around to right field. Zener is under it and tagging from third base. Here comes Plattner. Both runners will tag up and both will advance 90 feet as we are quickly tied up 1-1. 2 away in the inning after the sacrifice fly for Dawson Santana.
The wild pitch comes back to bite Olivas. Great job by Santana to be able to take advantage.
Now Landon Beaver with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Delivering upstairs for ball 1. Clocked in at 89 miles per hour. 1-0 count to one of the most dangerous hitters on the Kettleers. Here's the 1-0, a breaking ball. Dropped in for a called strike. Similar to the pitch that froze Beaver for a strikeout in the bottom of the first. The 1-1. Grounded softly to second base. Hyannis over. Collects, fires to first in time. This game's all tied up. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We head to the 4th here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Can I take your seat?
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Welcome back to Lowell Park. It's the 4th inning, sponsored by the team at the Goldberg Law Group PC, the Cape's premier personal injury law firm. The Goldberg Law Group has served Cape Cod and the islands for more than 38 years, and we're proud to support the local events, organizations, and traditions that make this community so special. As the Cape's leading law firm, Goldberg Law Group believes in helping people. building relationships and giving back whenever we can. That's why we're honored to sponsor the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and another great night of Cape League baseball. Through the first 3 innings, we're tied at 1, so essentially we start over. Back out on the mound, Rocco Calise for the Cotuit Kettleers, making his first start of the summer in a big spot as Cotuit in a win or go home against Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks took the first game of this division series last night at McKeon Park.
It was an all-around complete performance for Hyannis. They shut out Cotuit, but not the case today. The Kettleers are playing tight, trying to protect home field.
5, 6, 7 due up, starting with Caden Miller, and he takes a strike over the outside corner, 0-1. Miller grounded out to end the top of the first inning, his first time up, and has really struggled against the Kettleers this summer. Calise out of the stretch, kicks and fires a breaking ball strike, 0-2.
And Calise has been throwing Hyannis off a little.
Really struggled in June and just tore it up in July, much like the Harbor Hawks, as the 1-1 changeup will float downstairs and the count swings in Kirk's favor, 2 balls and a strike.
Zener the same way, had a really slow June and a really hot July. The team has gone as these two have heated up.
Hyannis was just 6-9 in June as Kirk takes a strike on a fastball over the outside part of the plate. The count even 2-2 with Zener on first base, 1 out in the inning, and a 1-1 tie here in the top of the fourth. 14-8 in July, and then so far in August, 3-1. Not a big lead for Zener as Kirk swings, lines it up the middle, into center field, a base hit. Zener will stop at second. They play station to station, and Hyannis has something brewing here in the top of the fourth inning.
And Zener had to wait to see if that ball was going to get through. Probably the only reason he's not standing on third base right now. But after the leadoff strikeout to Miller, back-to-back singles. And Brody Briggs is a guy who has been swinging a hot bat so far in the postseason.
Well, you talk about day one Harbor Hawks. Briggs was a day one Harbor Hawk, not this summer, but last year in 2025. Zener on second, Kirk on first, and a first pitch breaking ball at the knees, 0-1. Briggs, a top prospect out of Oklahoma and the everyday catcher at Arizona State, and decided to come back for another year with Hyannis as he swings and pops one in the air. Shallow left field, out goes Aiden Aguayo. In comes the left fielder, Drew Rapepi, and he'll make the catch with the sunglasses on for out number 2.
And Briggs got caught out in front that time. Just got under it, and a lazy pop up to shallow left.
That'll bring up the number 9 man, Nick Dromboski, who grounded in to an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play in the top of the second. The second summer ball stint for Dromboski. He played in the Valley League before coming over to Hyannis. Takes a fastball low, 1-0 from Rocco Calise. But I think it's worth bringing up how Briggs has really emerged as an anchor behind the plate for the Harbor Hawks, and felt that there was unfinished business with Hyannis after the way last summer ended. Dromboski swings, grounds it up the first base line, count even 1-1.
He's by far the best defensive backstop for Hyannis, to the point where anything he does with the bat is just a bonus.
2 on and 2 down, and a 1-1 pitch coming up. We'll have to wait as Calise throws back to second, and Zener is back with a head-first dive.
Yeah, Hyannis has to be careful. Jax Jimenez got picked off last inning, and Charlie Bates was caught stealing. Don't want to see base runners erased in the postseason.
The Harbor Hawks are hitting just under 400 with guys in scoring position in August, as Dromboski takes a changeup low, and the count in his favor, 2-1. Last night, Dromboski takes a strike. Fastball at 87 from the side armor, Rocco Calise. Zener on third and Kirk on second. Calise staring in and comes home. Dromboski swings, grounds it to third. Nice diving stop by Moran, but he boots it. Zener comes in to score, and Hyannis takes the lead. 2-1 Harbor Hawks, in the top of the fourth inning.
This was going to be a tough play for Moran, sliding to his left. Did get a mitt on the ball, kept it from getting into the outfield, but Dromboski putting the ball in play, gets Hyannis back on top.
Out comes Rob Cooper, and this might end the day for Rocco Calise. The Cotuit skipper will take the baseball. A pitching change coming up here with 2 outs in the top of the fourth inning. Hyannis has runners at the corners with 1 run home and a 2-1 Harbor Hawks lead as we step aside on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known.
James, do you want to?
Up the middle and into center field, a base hit.
I'm using a hotspot now.
One out single for the Kettleers here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Cotuit trailing 5-1. And this will end the day likely for Raymond Olivas. As Mitch Carricker comes out, the entire infield converges. Lengthy conversation, but it looks like this might end it. Olivas getting fist bumps, and what will be his last outing of the summer departs with 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Van Froling coming into the game for the Harbor Hawks. We'll take a quick step aside here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing
services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind the scenes, so like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Van Froling is the new pitcher for the Harbor Hawks. He relieves Raymond Olivas after making it 4 1/3 innings. Hyannis leading Cotuit 5-1 here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network in Game 2 of the Western Division Series. Landon Beaver will greet the lefty. It's 2 lefties in this part of the order with Beaver, the lefty, the righty Aguayo, and then Christensen, a lefty. And you figure Mitch Carricker playing the matchups key as Cotuit looks to tack on a couple runs and get back into this game.
If Van Froling could stay in the zone, he's solid.
First pitch, Bender swung on a miss, 0-1. Froling, an ERA just south of 8 during the regular season as a Day 1 Harbor Hawk. Yet, he had a couple really strong outings, including against these Kettleers. 0-1 pitch inside with a breaking ball, 1-1. 4 scoreless innings against Cotuit back on July 12th. The game that Hyannis lost 1-0. That was when the Harbor Hawks were really struggling with the offense. Here's the 1-1. Beaver swings and sends it in the air foul up the third base line. Taylor Kirk makes the catch for out number 2.
It's always frustrating when you pop out in foul territory as a hitter. Beaver just didn't get enough of that one to push it fully out of play, and Taylor Kirk with a nice catch.
That'll bring up Aiden Aguayo, 1 for 2 with the single back in the 4th inning. Dawson Santana over at first base. First pitch on the way. Breaking ball low from Froling, 1-0. Froling's other great outing this summer was at the end of the month against Yarmouth Dennis. He went 5 up, 5 down, and ended up getting 2 innings of work as Dawson Santana grounds it to shortstop. Charlie Bates stumbles, now goes the short way to second. Safe as Matt Einish could not hold on.
Unlucky right there for Bates. That was deep in the hole. He was actually onto the outfield grass and his back foot slipped when he went to throw over to second base. Just an unlucky break right there.
So the inning will continue. Sam Christensen coming up. They ruled a single for Aguayo. That's interesting. First pitch to Christensen is a breaking ball at the top of the zone, 0-1. And again, we cannot emphasize enough that Froling is honestly one of the Harbor Hawks' better pitchers when he's in the zone. But it's just when he's not in the zone when he really struggles. Here's the 0-1. On the ground, right side, Matt Einish. Flips to first in time for the final out of the inning. Cotuit puts 2 on base, no runs on 2 hits, no errors into left. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, 5-1.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before.
Top of the 6th inning here at Lowell Park in Cotuit. Hyannis leading the Kettleers 5-1 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Chase Vandermeed going out for another inning of relief, and he'll face 7-8-9 Taylor Kirk, Brody Briggs, and Nick Dromboski scheduled.
After giving up the bases clearing double to Jimenez, Vandermeed really rebounded in that 5th inning. 1-2-3 against Andrew Lamb, Kada Miller, and Henry Ziener. 3 lefties where he didn't have the advantage. Matt
walked 6 last night, and Cotuit's had the bases loaded tonight. They've had a lot of traffic. Hyannis error as Kirks pops one foul off to the right. We'll do it again at 1-2, but still not able to really cash in.
Yeah, the story of this series so far has been hitting with guys in scoring position. Hyannis has found the big hits, and Cotuit just hasn't. I mean, 6 hits today for the Hawks, 5 for Cotuit, but just none of them have come in really big fashion.
1-2 the count, pitch on the way. Kirk takes it. 1-2 the count, pitch on the way. Kirk takes outside. It's outside. Nobody on, nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. As Vandermeed walks back in and a 2-2 count. Pitch up and away with the fastball and the count full. Taylor Kirk fell behind early, but he's able to work it back to 3-2. He was 2 for 4 last night against these Kettleers in Game 1. Payoff pitch on the way. Outside for ball 4. A leadoff walk for the Harbor Hawks. That's the second walk of the relief appearance for Chase Vandermeed. The first batter he faced was Matt Einish. He walked on 4 pitches. And Brody Briggs Briggs standing back in. Speed on first base in Taylor Kirk. First pitch on the way, he's running. Pitch is a strike, the throw down to second. Not in time. Taylor Kirk swipes his first bag of the postseason.
Good jump, good slide. Head first to the outside of the bag. Nice work from Taylor Kirk.
He stole 6 during the regular season, but did not steal a bag and has lost 10 games. Last 10 games. Here's the 0-1. Briggs shows the bunt and gets it down to the mound. Vandermeed goes to third, and he did throw it away, but it ended up hitting Taylor Kirk. So Cotuit actually catches a break as that ball was ticketed down the left field line. Now Kirk a little bit banged up.
Yeah, if you're Vandermeed off the mound, you got to go to first with that. Kirk with a ton of speed was always going to get to third on that play. Instead, you got nobody out and runners at the corners. Dromboski and then the top of the lineup about to hit.
Runners at the corners. Nobody out for Nick Dromboski. Hyannis on top of Cotuit, 5-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Looking to add on as Vandermeed comes set and comes home. Dromboski straightened up on a fastball, up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Officially ruled a fielder's choice for Brody Briggs. 1-5, which allows him to reach. Here's the 1-0. Dromboski takes at the knees, 1-1. Lively fastball from Vandermeed. Kirk on third, Briggs on first, 1-1, fouled back.
We'll just unmute ourselves and come back.
Vandermeed comes set. Briggs dancing at first, not running. The 1-2 pitch is hitting the air to left field. Rapepi going over. He dives and can't make the catch. It's off his glove. Kirk comes in to score. Briggs will be sent around. The throw in from Aiden Aguayo will get him by about 30 feet as Dromboski takes third.
That was pretty ambitious for Brody Briggs to try to take home there. He was out by a country mile at the plate, but that ball was crushed opposite field from Dromboski. Kirk scores easily on the play, and Dromboski up to third with Briggs trying to take home.
(6-1) Hyannis leads. A very risky send indeed for Sean Riley. That should be a double for Dromboski, and he advanced to third. That's exactly what it is. So he picks up an RBI as Matt Hyannis stands in. Cotuit brings the infield in. Hyannis on top of the Kettleers, 6-1 in the top of the 6th inning. First pitch, Hyannis swings and swats it foul off to the left out of play. Vandermeed jumps ahead, 0-1.
And 6-1 Hyannis. They've been doing everything with runners on. Things are looking good here in the 6th. Especially since they've been doing all this damage against Vandermeed, by far the most productive Cotuit pitcher this summer.
0-1 the count. Pitch on the way. Hyannis swings and misses strike 2. A fastball dialed up to the top of the zone. No balls and 2 strikes. All four infielders with their toes on the infield lawn. The 0-2 on the way. Hyannis swings and torches it to left field. Repepi going back, still going, makes the catch over the shoulder. Dromboski tags up and comes home to score. Hyannis adds a seventh run, and the Harbor Hawks on top 7-1 here in the top of the sixth.
Once again, Matt Hyannis having himself a day at the plate. 2 walks, a home run, a sac fly. On the day, he's 1 for 1 still, with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Not bad from your leadoff hitter in a game where if Hyannis wins, they're going to the next round.
Jax Jimenez standing in.
A different beast. So Hyannis has a comfortable lead now. We'll see if they can lock it down as they turn it back to you guys.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Lowell Park. Van Froling going out for another inning of relief. First out of the pen in relief of Raymond Olivas. The Harbor Hawks continue to add on another crooked number with 2 runs in the top half of this frame. They lead 7-1 over Cotuit. It'll be J.J. Moran, Ryan Taransky, and Will Plattner scheduled. Changeup pulled the string. Froling had him well out in front. Nothing in 2 as Moran nowhere close. Froling working quickly, ready to go. Here's the pitch. Fastball flied foul behind the screen. 10 pitches, 8 of them going for strikes for Froling so far through 2/3 of an inning of relief. As lefty pitching out of the windup, comes home, swing and a miss. Goes to the changeup below the zone, and Moran goes fishing for out number 1.
Good pitch there from Froling, keeping it down in the zone. Moran just swung right over the top of it. And just swung right over the top of it.
Ryan Taransky standing in. He walked his last time up. An inning where the Kettleers had the bases loaded, but could not score. First pitch fastball inside 1-0. Cotuit got its lone run of the game in the last of the third. A sacrifice fly to right field for Dawson Santana. First pitch low, 1-0. 6 strikeouts through 5 1/3 innings for the Harbor Hawks pitching staff between Froling and Olivas. Here's the 1-0, and it's beautiful over the outside corner with a fastball, and the count even 1-1.
We talked about how effective Froling could be when he's working in the zone. Well, he's working in the zone right now.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball right over the outside corner, 1-2, as he really seems to be finding himself in a rhythm. From one UCSB gaucho in Olivas to another in Froling. These two certainly finding a rhythm so far in this game against Cotuit. Froling with some pep in his step. Here's the 2-2. It's a breaking ball outside, and the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Cotuit needs a big inning and fast. Facing elimination, down 6 runs.
3-2 pitch on the way, inside for ball 4. Second walk of the day issued by the Hyannis Harbor Hawks pitching staff, and a 1-out base runner for the Kettleers. We'll flip it over for Will Plattner, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
Your second time they've walked a guy. Both times it's been to Ryan Taransky. Plattner 2 for 2 today. He almost had a big hit in the 4th with 2 runners on, but the ball didn't get far enough into left field. It loaded the bases where Drew Repepi couldn't come through.
First pitch on the way to Will Plattner, outside 1-0. Fastball at 89 from Van Froling. Turansky on first base. Here's the 1-0 inside for ball 2. And now you got to be careful if you're Froling. This is when he struggled, when he falls behind early. Seems like you're always digging yourself out of a hole. Plattner, a much better game here in game 2. He grounded into 2 twin killings last night and an 0-for-4 showing. 2-0, big swing and a miss. Fastball right at the knees. 2 balls in 1 strike.
Yeah, Froling did have a nightmare outing on the 1st of July against Bourne, where Hyannis was up 8-0 in that one, and Froling gave up 5 runs. Hyannis eventually did hang on to win 8-7.
2-1 fastball again dialed up by Froling, and another swing and miss from Plattner.
And right there are 2 great pitches. After falling behind 2-0, just back in the zone from Froling. Big swing and a miss from Plattner. Van looks under control today. Big deep breath.
Looking for a second strikeout. Does not get it on this pitch. A fastball downstairs, and back-to-back batters, back-to-back full counts. The last one resulting in a walk. Three into the count. Turansky not on the move, and that is a walk from Froling. He fastball delivered low. 2 on and 1 away for the Kettleers, and up comes Drew Rapepi.
Yeah, back-to-back walks for Froling. I'd imagine he'll have a pretty long leash to stay in this game with the 6-run lead. But I think it's at this time where you probably get somebody at least warming in the Hyannis bullpen.
First pitch inside, gets to the backstop. Both runners will advance. The second wild pitch of the day for the Harbor Hawks pitching staff puts 2 in scoring position.
And that one just slipped from Froling. Still, you're against the bottom of the order. Rapepi doesn't even have a hit on Cape Cod this season. Just got to pound the zone, and Brody Briggs, the veteran catcher, knows the situation at hand. He's bringing the infield together to talk to Van right now.
All 4 infielders on the mound, joined by Briggs and Froling. This is a big spot in the game for Cotuit. They can start chipping away at this lead, which seems pretty big at the moment. 6-run deficit for the Kettleers, and a 1-0 deficit in the series. As Briggs heads back.
Yeah, you just can't let this inning spiral if you're Hyannis. Even if these 2 guys score from second and third, you'd still be up 7-3. That's still a commanding lead. So just attack these next couple hitters and don't let this inning really get out of hand and spiral.
Turansky on third with Plattner on second. Here's the 1-0. It's a fastball over the outside corner. Count even 1-1. Cotuit's entire lineup is made up of late season adds. They've arguably been affected the most out of guys leaving, as the pitch is lined to third. Taylor Kirk makes the catch, and a double off Ryan Turansky. Van Froling in and out of trouble here in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're heading to the 7th, 7-1 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
What am I here for then? I gotta get my 3 pitches in so I know I contribute. More information, visit RCAelectric.com. That's RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. Generators stop. Finally, a Kettleer welcome.
Fosberg, his last time entered as a pinch hitter and then didn't play the field. Brody Briggs came in as a defensive replacement behind the plate.
I think what you're going to see is Matt Einish is going to probably move from second base to short. and then J.C. Davis will take over at second base. Or they move Taylor Kirk to second base, and they put J.C. Davis at third, because that guy is elite defensively on the infield. Andrew Lamb takes a slider outside from Aiden Healy. Final line for the Cotuit reliever, Chase Vandermeed. 2 innings and a third, 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Lamb swings and grounds one off the glove of Healy to the second baseman, Dawson Santana. Sidearm throw in time.
What a recovery.
1-4-3 on the putout.
Beautiful play from Dawson Santana. We talked about J.C. Davis being a solid fielder. Santana's right up there in this Cape League. Yesterday he had a great play in a big spot. The bases loaded came through. And on both sides of the ball, Santana's really shown up in this playoff series.
Nobody on and 2 out for Caden Miller, with the Hawks leading the Kettleers 7-1 in the visiting half of the 7th inning. Hyannis 9 outs away from a series victory. Pitch to Miller. Breaking ball down and in. Called strike 1. The last time Hyannis won a first-round series was in 2022 against these Cotuit Kettleers. Miller, big swing and a miss on a changeup. It's now 0-2.
2024 really hurt. That was a West Division champion Harbor Hawks team that looked ready to roll, and then a 1-game playoff against Bourne.
0-2 bounces, 1-2 now on Miller. Of course, the first round isn't a 1-game wild card anymore. It's now a best-of-3 series like all the other series on Cape Cod, but Hyannis was by far and away the best team in the West Division during that 2024 season, knocked out by the 4-seeded Bourne Braves. A Bourne team that has won the championship 3 of the last 5 years. 1-2 to Miller, backdoor breaking ball, called strike 3. Miller pleading his case to the home plate umpire, Brandon Murphy, but it won't change his mind. 1-2-3 for Hyannis in the top of the 7th. Will stretch from Lowell Park.
If you have noticed him yet, that's what we're doing. Okay. He's serviceable, though. Pretty freaking good. He's pitched well today. Actually, no, I won't be here for the chip.
Bottom of the 7th, set to start here from Lowell Park in Cotuit, nestled deep within the forest off the south coast of Cape Cod. Tito Kiefer into the box to lead things off against the lefty Van Froling into the windup first pitch. Fastball outer half, called strike 1. 9-1-2 due up for the Kettleers as they trail Hyannis 7-1 in Game 2 of the Division Series. Here's Froling again on 0-1. Outside count even at 1 to Tito Kiefer. 0 for 2 today. He reached on an error in the 3rd inning and grounded out to third base in the 5th inning.
The defensive substitutions are as you predicted, Quincy. Second base, J.C. Davis. Shortstop, Matt Einish.
1-1 outside again from Froling. It's now 2-1. Will Fosberg pinch hit for Charlie Bates In the top half of this inning, the catcher will go to the bench in favor of J.C. Davis, the slick fielding second baseman. Froling 2-1 to the plate. Inside, it hit. Tito Kiefer appeal to first, no swing, says first base umpire Mike Hiniosa. Kiefer able to hold up and get himself on first base with the hit by pitch. That one was close as he kind of lunged out over the plate.
Tough break for Van Froling, but still plenty to work with for Hyannis. Able to get arms in and low leverage spots and really just feel like are cruising.
Froling had quite the eventful sixth inning. Leadoff man Dawson Santana back to the plate. Fastball up and away from Froling. Struck out J.J. Moran to lead off the inning, then back-to-back walks to Ryan Taransky and Will Plattner. A wild pitch put runners on second and third, but then a line drive to Taylor Kirk. He caught it, doubled off the runner at third to end the inning. Froling's 1-0 misses downstairs, and Santana ahead in the count 2-0. 1 for 2 today with a single and a sac fly. Santana went 1 for 3 yesterday as well with a double. On 2-0, Froling can't find the outer edge of the zone, and the UC Santa Barbara Gaucho behind 3-0 to Dawson Santana. The middle of the Cotuit order awaits with Landon Beaver on deck. Froling set just below his belt, 3-0 on the way. Fastball catches the zone, strike one.
That's a tight strike zone to hit against Dawson Santana. Standing at 5'6". That's some Jose Altuve stuff in the box.
He's still a dangerous hitter, despite the small size. 3-1. Taken on the inner edge, called strike two. So after starting behind Santana 3-0, Froling has filled up the count. Tito Kiefer leads off of first. Nobody out. In the bottom half of the seventh, Hyannis leading Cotuit 7-1. They're just 9 outs away from moving to the Cape Cod League semifinals. Here's the payoff. Called strike three. Plate umpire Brandon Murphy punches out Santana. Froling has the second strikeout of his relief appearance, and there's one gone in the seventh.
Santana started his retreat to the Cotuit dugout before the call was finished off by Brendan Murphy, and great pitch.
So now Froling will work lefty on lefty against Landon Beaver, one of 2 Cotuit hitters who have been here since opening day. Initial offering outside, 1-0 on Beaver. Yesterday in the series opener, Beaver went 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts and 2 walks as the leadoff hitter. He's moved to second for today's game. 1-0 fouled off his right leg. Beaver looks to be no worse for wear as the count evens to 1-1 with 1 out and 1 on in the bottom half of inning number 7. Out of the stretch, Froling way upstairs with the changeup, 85 miles an hour above the head of Landon Beaver.
Well, might as well miss high. Not wanting to miss in the zone against Landon Beaver, especially on that off speed.
2-1. Froling just the second pitcher used today for Hyannis. And the pitch is lined deep in the air left field. Back goes Dromboski in front of the warning track. He makes the catch with the sunglasses on for out number 2. Hit hard by Beaver, but just right at the left fielder. So now the 3-hitter, Aiden Aguayo, steps in. 2 hits on the day with singles in the 4th and 5th innings. Froling looking to keep this lead at 7-1 for Hyannis going into the 8th. Backdoor slider called strike one. Froling has been terrific against left-handed hitters, but far less success against the righties like Aguayo. 0-1, grounded softly over to first, gloved by Andrew Lamb. He'll take it to first himself with a couple of steps. for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base as we head to the 8th. It's 7-1 Hyannis. They're 6 outs away. For 3 today with a single and a run scored. 1-1 on its way. Again, Healy looking to pick apart that outer edge of the plate, but that time the curveball missed low, and Zener in a hitter's count at 2-1. The UC Upstate Spartan back into the box, 2-1 on its way. Fastball grounded over to second base, backhanded by Dawson Santana. A smooth throw over to first completes out number 1 of the 8th. I'll tell you, that guy is as smooth of a fielder as we've seen all year. He has made a ton of great plays defensively for Cotuit in both games.
I hate to compare him to another somewhat short second baseman, Dustin Pedroia, but he's got the skills in the field.
5'6", but he makes his impact on the field in a big way. Here's Taylor Kirk, righty on righty against Healy. First pitch fastball misses inside. Kirk has been on all 3 times today. Hit by a pitch in the 2nd, singled and came around to score in the 4th, and walked in the 6th, also came around to score. 1-0, fouled away on the heater, straight back by Kirk, and it's 1-1. This guy really struggled to start the year for Hyannis. Came to the Cape on opening day. He was looking for a new home out of the transfer portal. He wanted to leave Fordham, where he had a stellar season. 1-1 from Healy, breaking ball on the front hip, called strike 2. But he started his summer just 2 for 27. And he was still looking for a home in the transfer portal, but eventually he announced his commitment to UCLA. And ever since then, the production has gone to a new level for Taylor Kirk. 1-2 pitch from Healy, curveball down and away. The count even at 2-2. With nobody on and 1 out in the top of the 8th, 7-1 Hyannis. But we talked to him, and he was like, the pressure's off my back now. I found a place to call home for the next year. And he just took that carefree attitude to the plate. 2-2 again. Kirk takes down and away, and the count runs full.
You have to think UCLA is pretty much best case scenario.
On its way, fastball upstairs. And Briggs way ahead at 3-0.
Squared around to bunt while Taylor Kirk stole second base in his last appearance before getting down a bunt. It was ruled a fielder's choice.
On 3-0 series. Was actually honored with the Cape League Umpire of the Year award, so congratulations to him. I wonder if as the Umpire of the Year, he gets to ump the championship series? I guess we'll find out. 3-2 on its way. Briggs taps one up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop, Aguayo. His only play is at first. Taylor Kirk with his speed got to second in plenty of time. So he'll move up as Briggs is cut down at first. It'll be a runner on second with 2 out for the 9-hitter, Nick Dromboski.
The Umpire of the Year award has some lineage, including on the field. Mike Ineosa got the honor in 2023. On the field, Mike Ineosa got the honor in 2023.
He's over there at first base today. He was at third yesterday. He's over there at first base today. He was at third yesterday. Here's Dromboski, lefty on righty against Healy. First pitch breaking ball misses down and in, and Dromboski had to shuffle his feet out of the way of that one. I think if you're given the Umpire of the Year award, you should get to ump the championship.